Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am so excited to have you here today because we are going to be unboxing the Janome MB-7 7-needle embroidery machine. We are going to put it together, thread it, and make something for the first time. So let's go ahead and get started. So it comes with this metal part. It's like an arm. This is going to go where the hoop is going to sit. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install it. So installing it is super simple. You just line it up. These little knobs right here inside the machine underneath this main part where the thread is going to go. So we're just going to go ahead, line these knobs. There's these knobs right here. Right there, focus. Right there, we're going to go ahead and slide. You might have to twist it out more so it fits underneath correctly. And then you go ahead and just tighten them down so they're nice and tight. And that's how the hoop arm looks once it's installed. It's super easy to do. That's where you're going to put your hoop at. So you have these arms here that you're going to slide your hoop into. Alright, so next up we have this thread board. That's what I call it. It's basically the part where your thread spools are going to sit. We have all these pegs and they go in all these circles that you see here on the board. So you just go ahead and push them in, like so. So that's what it's going to look like. There's going to actually be 8 of them because you have 7 spool threads and then 1 is for your bobbin to sit on for your bobbin winding. So that's why there's 8 of them. Next you have these 2 iron rods that comes with it. So they have 2 screws in the end on both sides. You have to go ahead and take those screws out so that way you can use them where they need to go. Okay, so I have them out. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stick the metal rods. Then what you're gonna go ahead and do is put the metal rods in these little holes right here, both of them. Next you have this. This is the piece that's going to hold all of your threads when you go to thread it down. This is the back part, so this is going to go in the back of the machine. So you want this facing forward. So you want this facing forward along the flat edge of the thread holder. So we're just going to line up these 2 holes with the holes on the rods that we put in earlier. Go ahead and grab the screws, and then go ahead and grab the screws we took out. Put them in. Okay, just like that. So that's how the piece should look when it's all said and done. It's facing the flat edge. That is perfect. That's exactly how we want it. So there's 3, and then there's 3 long screws that come with it. So we're going to go ahead and just put them in the... Alright, and this is how it should look once you have it all. Just make sure that you have this facing the right way because this is where all the threads are going to run through. So the machine automatically came with these. These are like little spools that just sit underneath your thread. It comes with 2 different sizes actually, just depending on the thread size you're going to be using. So these are jumbo and then these are really small. So this would be if you were using like a really big roll of thread, and And then these are obviously for like smaller ones. So let's go ahead and start putting our thread on. The guy that I ordered the machine from was really nice and threw these in for free. So I'm just gonna use the colors that I have for free, and I'm obviously gonna get more colors as I go along, but this is really good for starting out, and it was super nice of them to do that. Now that we have the thread platform and all our thread put on the machine, we can start threading it. So all these are numbered and labeled in the book. I'll go ahead and show you the book here in a minute in a quick clip. You want to pull it through. Okay, so on here, there is a hole. I will do a zoom in preview once I'm done with this one. You want to take it underneath the little lever, pull it through. So once you have the thread through the thread holder on top, you can go ahead and start threading down at the bottom. So there's these little knobs right here. First off, you want to make sure that your lever is pushed back and not forward, because that has to do with the tension. So we're going to go ahead and start threading it. There's a little hole in the back behind the knob that you have to put the thread through first before you start bringing it around. So go ahead and pull it, and then there's arrows on the machine that help guide you which way the thread's supposed to run. Bring the thread down through here like so. You can see just kind of where it tells you to go. And there are images, actually, I don't know if you can see, but there are these that help guide you where your thread is supposed to run. So once you run it through number one, you pull it through this little hole here, like so. And then there's a loop, pull here like so. So hole number one, and then there's a little loop right here. You put the thread through there. And then you push it up through these ovals. So pull it up like that. And then up here, still on number one, there is this lever. You go ahead and you pull your thread through there, like so. And then down below there is a second oval next to the first. You go ahead, put your thread through there, like so. And down here there are holes labeled with numbers to tell you which thread goes in where. So you just pull your thread through. Okay, and then I'll show you how to thread your needle. So once you get to the bottom here, there's a little loop right here at the top of your needle. You want to push your thread through here. A lot easier if you have tweezers. So you go ahead, grab it, and then you push your thread. So you go ahead and grab it once it's through the loop, and then you go ahead and push your thread through the needle. Let me snip my thread because it's fraying. So you push it through the eye of the needle, like so, grab it, like that, and then it has to go through this bottom loop right here, right there. We're gonna push it back through there. Just like that. And then once you are done threading your needle, what you do is you go ahead, pull extra slack like that, and you take that extra slack you have and you put it through here and pull it down. And you just go ahead and repeat the process for your other colors. So here's page 18 of the Janome handbook that comes with it. It shows you like what order the thread comes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that way when you go to select it on your machine and thread it, you know exactly what color is lined up where for when you're selecting your designs. And And they also show illustrations of how to set it up. I have all the threads threaded through, all set up, ready to go. So once you're done, you want to go ahead and pull this lever towards you, because that's going to adjust the tension. These knobs here also help adjust the tension. So if you're having tension problems, this is where you would go to tighten or loosen them depending on what you personally need to have done. So I already have the monitor installed. It was super easy to install. There's a little lever here that it just slides onto. You have your power switch, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the machine on. Okay, so you can see that the screen is up. You go ahead, it says keep hands clear. Carriage will now move to set position. You hit OK. And then the arm moves like so. And then it asks you, do you want to resume last pattern? I'm going to hit the X because I do not want to resume my last pattern. So now that we have the machine all set up, I'm going to go ahead and just show you real quick how to do a super simple design, how to hoop, and just get started with your journey. So let's go ahead, hoop something, and do a quick design. Okay, so for hooping, I'm going to be using a size 3T t-shirt that I have on hand, and I'm going to be using the M2 hoop. So for the 3T, I'm going to be using the M2 one. It is 126 by 110. I think that's in centimeters. But for it, what you do is, first thing you have to do is get this part. It has this metal piece that you unscrew. Unscrewing it loosens it, which makes it easier for the other part of the hoop to sit into. And then once you have it in, you tighten it, which I'll show you. So what you want to do is first try to center it. So the first thing you want to do is put this on and try to figure out about where you want the design. What I like to do is, so that way I get things centered or wherever I want to lay it out at, is go ahead and fold it in half. Make sure you match it up nice and even. You can heat press it too to make a better crease, but I'm just going to do it this way for now. So now there is, I don't know if you can see, but now there's this line running through that tells me where the center is. So I'm going to go ahead, lay my hoop on top of it. This is the part that's going to be going inside. And then you take your stabilizer. This is cutaway stabilizer. Lay it over the hoop because you need it to be over the hoop. There has to be extra in order for it to work. So I do that. Figure out where I need to cut. So a little bit past the hoop works good. Like so. And then you can go ahead and trim it down more so it fits better into the shirt. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the excess that I don't need, just to make it easier to work with. Okay. So there's our piece of stabilizer. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this hoop with the metal on it inside of the shirt. Like so. And then we can adjust where it is once we lay our other hoop piece in it. And then you take your stabilizer and you put it inside of the shirt. So then you just want to check and make sure that the stabilizer is going over the edges of the hoop, and start laying your other hoop to get a better idea of where you want your design. So obviously I want it to be up further. So I'm going to go ahead and push the hoop up further. Okay. So once you have this on there, you can go ahead and lay your grid on top. There's little notches that it goes in. It shows you which way the arrows are supposed to face when you go to put it on. So then there is an X, there is a cross here that tells you where the center is, along with another little notch right here to show you the center. Then once you feel like you have your hoop where you want it, you can start pushing it together, your stabilizer, and let off more tension. But definitely for me, the hardest part of this whole process is hooping and trying to get my design straight. Okay, so once you have it hooped where you want it, you can go ahead and go inside of the garment. And then there's this little lever here. You go ahead and tighten it down. You want your shirt to be nice and drum-like. Like you should be able to hit it and it makes like a bounce back noise. That's really important for stabilizing and having good thread quality. So I tighten it as much as I can. Once you are fairly confident with where you placed it, I'm still learning. See how it makes that drum noise? That's what you want. It has this arm lever here, which is great because it keeps it from stitching the sides together. You don't want the back and the front of your shirt to be stitched together. So there's these. So what you do is there are these here. These just slide into the arm of it, and there's little holes that it clips into, and then when it hits it, it just snaps in like so. Okay, so once you have your design loaded in, here's the design screen that automatically comes up after you hit the cancel out. So you can go ahead and select a design. In order to move pages, you use this button here. So you can go through the different designs available. Okay, so this is where it has all the different colors listed. I'm gonna go ahead and change it because I only want a few colors used. So right now what I'm doing is setting the colors for the colors that I do have. I'm just gonna make the design pink and gray since those are the colors that I have and I think they'll look the best. I'm gonna show you how I do one of them. So I need all these ones here to be set to number one, because those are just gonna be pink. Then I have the dark gray portion set as number 7 because that is where I have my thread spool is at number 7. And then I put the coral as number 1 too, so that's all just going to be the same color, pink. And then I have to go and change this dark gray color that's set as number 3, which would be yellow. I want that to be either pink or gray. I'm going to see what part of the design that is. So you hit. So this is what the main screen looks like. So this is what the main screen looks like when it comes up on your design. So in order to like move back and forth, you hit these ones plus and minus thread signs. So I'm gonna go ahead and do plus. And then plus again. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit this arrow so that way I can adjust it. And then this one, is it this one? Or is it this one? This one. That just shows me like what it is gonna be. So I'm gonna make that the same color gray as this one. So I'm gonna set it as number 7. So I have all of them saved to the right color that I want. 11717. And then it says that this stitch out is gonna be about 15 minutes. So in order to change the size of the design, you go ahead and you hit menu. It's going to say press corresponding function button. I'm going to go ahead and hit this button that is next to the graph, and this is how you can resize it. So right here is a button and it has a minimize and maximize size. It can only go up to 120% on this grid. So I put it at 120 because I wanted it to be as big as I could make it. And then you can just, use your finger and slide it around the grid to put it where you want to. I'm just going to center it for now just because this is like a trial one. My daughter will love it. She loves ballet, so hit OK. So make sure that they're all in the correct places. When you're ready to go, hit start. It's going to ask you, machine starts to run. It asks you, so the hoop size is 4.9 by 4.3 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and hit start again. And it's going to start stitching out the design. Okay guys, so our design is all stitched out, so now we can go ahead and take our hoop out. To take it out, you just pull it out like so. And there's our design. It's a little ballerina. And I'll show you how to take it out, and trim it up. Okay, so taking it out is super simple. You just pull up on this hoop like so. Then you can go ahead, take your bottom hoop out of the shirt, set them aside. There's what the design looks like. I like to just turn it inside out, turn the garment inside out. Like that. And then what we're gonna wanna do is go ahead and cut all around here. So to do that, I highly recommend using curved scissors like this. I don't know if you can see, but they like go up so that way you don't cut the design, because the last thing you wanna do is cut the design or cut the shirt. So what I do is I go in with big scissors first to get the big part away. Like so. And then we can go through and start trimming away the excess with our little curved scissors. So you want the curve facing up. Alright, so I have it all trimmed, looking pretty good. Obviously, if I was selling it, I would do a way cleaner job. So then we can go ahead and flip it back over. And flip it back over, and that's the finished look of the shirt. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up so I know to make more videos like this. Want more videos like this, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything, because we're going to be doing a lot of embroidery, small business talk. I'm going to give you free information, hauls, you name it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.